Welcome back. This week we're talking about consciousness, collective consciousness, and how to raise the level of both of those things. I'm really excited about this week. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. But what is consciousness? It's being aware of being aware. I'll just let that soak in for a moment. Being aware of being aware. Aware of self, aware of others, humanity and all beings, the space, the environment, the earth, and the cosmos, and our place in that cosmos. So are you ready to level up your consciousness, to stretch beyond your comfort zone? Are you committed to sitting with the questions, to reflecting and spending time contemplating and being open? Why should you worry about consciousness? Because we are all of us at some level unconscious. And when we are unconscious, we are guided by the voice of ego, right? And you now know from experience that when you listen to the ego and make decisions from that place, it doesn't work out well. We create chaos in our environment, we operate from fear, and even to expand to talking about the bigger world, that's how wars are started and continue on, because folks are listening to the voice of ego and not dialed into their own consciousness, let alone the collective. So the voice of consciousness, we all have an inner voice of wisdom. We'll call it the voice of consciousness. It's really the voice of our higher selves. And when we dial into and listen and make decisions based on our connection to the voice of consciousness, we start to know things and we create in a way that we had previously not. When you listen at this level, we transcend the earthly bullcrap, really, that drives so many of us to make choices against ourselves. And instead, we make strong decisions that support something bigger than ourselves. You raise the collective consciousness when you do this. It's really such a powerful, powerful tool to use, right? And not even a tool, it's more than that. It is really our work here on this planet. So how do you level up your own consciousness? First, you become aware of and you listen to your higher self, the voice of consciousness. You already know the voice of your saboteur. You know that voice, right? This is different. And some people will ask, how do I know when it's the voice of my consciousness? You will know because you already know the voice of your saboteur. It sounds like and feels like anxiety and second guessing and questioning and indecisiveness. Then once you become aware of and listen to the voice of consciousness, you commit to raising the collective consciousness. So what does that mean? What exactly is the collective consciousness? Think of it as a field of awareness, right? Created by human beings' vibes. You know how sometimes you can walk into a room and feel immediately that there's stress or tension in the room? And vice versa. It might be that you walk into a room and it fills you with joy as soon as you come through the doorway. That vibe, when you notice this, that's dialing into the collective field of awareness, the collective consciousness. It's everywhere and all around us, and we simply just choose to open up to it. That's the truth. Simple, sounds simple, right? Easier said than done. So how do you raise the collective consciousness? The short answer is by raising your own consciousness, doing your work, clearing out what doesn't serve, bringing the light, and dial into the collective in a much deeper way. So what's the impact on the world when we do this? That's how we change what's happening out in the world. It's the only way. When you feel helpless or hopeless about what's going on and things that are far away that we feel that we cannot have an impact on, we cannot change it through being angry and hateful toward our persecutors or persecutors in the world, because then we become persecutors ourselves, right? We do it intentionally by looking within, by raising our own collective consciousness. And by doing that, we automatically raise the collective consciousness on our planet. It is so powerful, y'all. It's so powerful. Here's an example of how this works in real life, right? So I have a group that I've been meeting with every single week for many years. And this is a spiritual group, right? And it's regardless of whether this is a spiritual group or it's a business meeting that I'm leading, the impact is the same. Sometimes our meetings are really good. Sometimes they're great. And often, most often, they raise the level of collectiveness, of collective consciousness on our planet. You can feel the energy vibrating in the space at the completion of our meeting. There's like a hushed reverence, or like often a pure lightness, and the space feels like joy and bliss. We have the same structure each week. What's different? We decide. We decide to raise the collective, and we commit to it. We let go of our ego, and we put it away in a box for the allotted time. We communicate our commitment to the collective. That's our intention. Raise the collective. And we trust one another and lean into one another, into the collective. So here's your practice for this week. Here's your challenge. For one whole day, imagine that you are being the voice of consciousness. You're speaking for your higher self. What would your higher self say? Listen to whatever messages come through and make decisions. Make all your decisions based on that advice, based on that voice. And at the end of the day, just notice, keep track of, journal, write down, okay? What did you learn? What was the impact on yourself, on the space, on the collective when you listen to that voice, the voice of consciousness? I'm really, really excited to hear how this goes. Please reach out and let me know. And I hope you have an amazing week. Good luck. Bye-bye.